all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new mic, which is why things are positioned weirdly. Hopefully the sound is better. You can let me know. I know a lot of people have been irritated by it, so let me know. Anyways, today we're going to talk about Kanye West, and unless you aren't on Twitter or have been under a rock or something, you'll know that Kanye's tweets have had a huge reaction online, let's put it that way. So before we get into this video, I think it's important for me to explain my position here. So anytime I make political videos, people ask me who I voted for, did I vote for Trump, did I vote for Hillary, and it's this huge debate. First of all, I'm not American, so I can't vote here. Second thing I'd like to say is that since I'm not American and I'm still fairly new to looking into American politics, it's very hard for me to say where I stand on the political spectrum, so I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm still figuring it out, so there's the answer to your question. Lastly, before I start, I also want to say I'm not a fan or a hater of Kanye West. Like, there's some songs of his that I liked in the past. Other than that, I really have no opinions, so don't view this video as particularly biased for or against him. Anyways, let's just get into the topic at hand. So I'd like to thank I Think I'm Real for bringing up this topic as a suggestion, Kanye the philosopher, because when this all started, it was less political, though it had some political undertones, but it was more Kanye pointing out some of his thoughts. And some of them were super obvious, which I didn't really understand why people were like, oh my god, preach. But some of them, you know, I think were interesting and important things to say. Let's look at a couple examples. Free thinkers don't fear retaliation for your thoughts. The traditional thinkers are only using thoughts and words, but they are in mental prison. You are free, you've already won. Feel energized, move in love and not fear, be afraid of nothing. I like the thought behind this. Do I think that anything he's been saying so far is super groundbreaking? No. Do I still appreciate it? Sure. Then he has other tweets, such as, everyone should be their own biggest fan, with 121,000 retweets.
Wow.
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 Which is what I'm saying is not, you know, groundbreaking. So these are examples of the tweets that I'm talking about that are cool reminders and everything, but nothing of, you know, crazy. What did make the internet go wild is that Kanye voiced his support for Donald Trump. Now, no matter where you stand on Trump, I think that one thing that we all have a huge problem with right now, and this is everyone, I'm not saying just liberals, just conservatives, is that we are lumping people together too fast. So a lot of people unfollowed Kanye just because he voiced his support for Trump. And I understand that it can be really disappointing to see a celebrity that you like not aligning politically with the person you'd want them to, but at the same time, I also don't feel like it's fair to demonize anyone for it. So just because he agrees with some of Trump's things, he even made a tweet about this. He says that the only person he fully agrees with is himself. So just aligning with Trump means that he leans more conservatively. Maybe he only likes certain ideas that Trump has, maybe he likes the majority, we don't know, but to classify him as a bad person because of that, I think is really stupid. In the same way, there are a lot of celebrities that I like, and most celebrities really have voiced their support for Hillary Clinton. I didn't like her, wasn't really a fan, but it's not like I just dropped the celebrity because we had that difference. And I think it's really unfair to do that. I can understand that politics are a big and important part of life, but it's just like, if you want to drop someone because there's one life-changing aspect that you don't like about immigration, that they support it or don't support it, and morally you're not okay with that, that's fine, but just because of who they support or what party they're in, I feel like that's problematic. If it's more specific, then I feel like it's more justified, if that makes sense. So I think one of the big things that surprised the internet in this whole Kanye thing is that Kanye was pretty low-key on Twitter, as far as I recall. Like, I don't remember seeing so many tweets until this flood started happening. So a bunch of conspiracy theories came up of, you know, it's because he's releasing new music and he wants people to be talking about him, or generally he wants people to be talking about him because maybe he feels like he's losing relevance. I don't know, but there is a huge conspiracy that this is mainly for attention, and I think that that's possible, but I don't think that he's just saying it for attention. I think he actually does support Trump, and he also gets attention with it. Anyways, I took a couple of screenshots of tweets of people's responses because, like I said, people's responses were intense. So here we have a tweet from the one and only Tariq Nasheed, who said, "So Kanye went full, huh? Those Kardashians sure have a way with dragging brothers to the sunken place, don't they?" Shaking my head. Honestly, I don't understand why people are trying to flatten an identity to politics, because it's just like, there's a lot more to a person. Unless you're an extremist, I don't think your identity should be flattened to who you support politically, and using slurs because someone has chosen to support someone doesn't seem necessary to me. Also, I think a big part of all of this is that people expect celebrities to be liberal, and people specifically expect people of color and black people to be liberal, which is something we're going to get to in the next tweets. Here, Gabrielle Renee, Senegal, said, "I honestly feel like the Kanye pro-Trump tweets are sparking a discussion that's long overdue in this country for quite some time. First and foremost, people of any color can support whoever they want. Being a person of color should not be synonymous with being liberal." And I agree, and wherever it is that you do stand on this, I don't even know really where I stand on all of this, it's just shocking. But wherever you do stand, I do think that it is important to have a discussion on who people support and why we expect certain people to support certain people, because I do think that there's this kind of category, right? And even in a more minute and less important way, I often get comments of people saying that they're surprised of my opinions because I have tattoos, so they expect me to be a certain type of way about politics. So I do think it's important to kind of dispel some of these stereotypes. Here, Steve Dubbs says, "I'd love for Kanye to stop tweeting so I can stop seeing everyone on my feed retweeting his eye-opening and inspiring tweets as if life didn't exist until he wanted to sell albums again." This was more in reference to those, like platitude type tweets. I don't think it was in reference to the political ones, but I thought it was pretty funny because I agree, some of them are just kind of like, yeah, so what? In this next one, JJ Truth responds to Chance the Rapper saying, "Black people don't have to be Democrats," to which JJ Truth says, "No, they do not. Kanye has started something beautiful. Thank you, Chance, for this simple truth." And I do think that it's important to kind of acknowledge this stereotype that could even be seen as racist, really, that people of color, black people, are expected to be liberal, and kind of calling them slurs when they are not, in fact, liberal. I just don't understand how that is productive in any way, especially since the whole, I think, agenda of liberals is to be more accepting generally. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. But it's just like, if you want to come here and claim that there are 72 genders and we should accept that and we should accept that kind of diversity, why are we not accepting a diversity of thought here? Just because you don't agree with it, it doesn't mean that diversity is inherently less useful. So here, Valentina says, "Kanye stood in front of 8.5 million viewers in 2005 saying Bush doesn't care about black people. Fast forward to 2018, he's telling his 18 million followers that he doesn't care about black people. If you are a Trump supporter, you do not care about the black, Latinx, or LGBTQ communities. You don't care about women, you don't care about low-income people, or about people with disabilities." So this is exactly the kind of mentality I think is extremely toxic, because it is flattening out someone's identity to who they support politically. And like I said before, just because you support someone, it doesn't mean you're 100% on the same page. So I don't know, these huge sweeping generalizations of you don't care about women, you don't care about black people, I don't think that's a fair thing to say. You can have all the disdain you want for, Kanye supporting Trump, but to put all of these things, I don't really think is necessary. I don't think it's helpful to the discussion, really. Also, here, I feel like she's trying to make him seem like he's a hypocrite, but 13 years passed, so I don't think it's that weird for his political leaning to change. I don't really understand what this tweet is really trying to do apart from demonize him. There doesn't seem to be any concrete argument here, in my opinion. So then Kim Kardashian West kind of chimed in, because a lot of the media was saying that he's mentally unwell because he voiced these opinions, which I think is a ridiculous kind of accusation to make. And Kim Kardashian West said, "Mental health is no joke and the media needs to stop spitting that out so casually, bottom line." And Nancy Lee Gran responded, "Respectfully, I don't think the media is joking about your husband's mental health." As someone who has mental health issues, I really think it's really fucked up to go around saying, "Oh, you have a mental health problem because you don't agree with my political views." Is that really necessary? I would never say that to whoever I disagree with politically. It just seems so elementary as a move. Last of all, it says, "Hey MAGA, you're off your rockers if you think Kanye expressing support for Trump turns the tides. He's an attention-seeking narcissist just like your crybaby king. They were meant for each other. Hashtag Kanye." I don't necessarily think that Kanye expressing support for Trump will turn the tides. I do think it might start an interesting discussion. That discussion might be productive or it could be completely unproductive. It really depends on how both sides act towards each other. So I think that's really still up in the air. He's an attention-seeking narcissist, just like your crybaby king. They were meant for each other. No matter who you support, whether it's Hillary, Trump, Bernie, whatever, whenever people make these kinds of tweets and don't actually make statements but instead just throw out these kinds of insults, I feel like their argument or lack of argument is even more apparent, so it's really hard for me to take them seriously. Anyways, I just wanted to go over this because it's been a very strange kind of atmosphere on Twitter recently. It just feels like I'm in some alternate universe. Anyways, I'd be really curious to know what you guys think about all of this. Like, what is your stance on Kanye starting to be more political? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Do you agree with him generally? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get right into the fan art.